Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, October 6, 2025. Let's take a look at the chart, start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. It was the settlement above the 362.39 2.5-year channel top a month ago that indicated 524.64 as our next longer term objective. And I've mentioned 5 to 8 months as the target. We're a month into it, and last week's high was probably 70% of the way to reaching our objective. But one of the reasons I picked 5 to 8 months, first was the fact that volatility leading up to the buy signal was much more restrained than what we find right now. And more importantly, there is a rising 7-month channel top this week at 469.54 that can contain near to midterm buying pressures on the way up to our 524.64 objective. And so 469.54, that range of resistance begins at 461.76, the same exact channel structure on the daily chart. This is our ceiling of resistance, and I've been mentioning that following a testing of this important channel top, we can fall back to channel support within a month or two of testing the 460s resistance back to the 360s, possibly in as little as 3 to 5 weeks. In fact, it was the settlement on Friday below 440.35 that does maintain a heavy dynamic, one that invites continued selling pressures this week and really into later October. We could, over the next 3 to 5 weeks or sooner, fall into this significant zone of support between 351.12 and 362.39. So, as I've been mentioning, if you're a 3 to 5 week swing trader, this was a solid area to sell into. And it, combined with the daily chart, it does provide, just sort of a defined area of resistance. If you're short now,
if you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
after selling that area on strength, bravo. If you sold the market on Friday with the settlement below 440.35, that is the valid approach on weakness. So you're either selling a market on strength, as the 460s would be, or you're selling it on weakness with a confirmed sell signal, as occurred on Friday with the settlement below 440.35. So 440.35 is an area to sell into on a daily basis. And in fact, I think it does also, as you can see here, present a 3 to 5 week sell signal opportunity. On the way down, we do have 402.36 combined with 403.60. I just couldn't decide which one is more important. I really wouldn't want you to sell the market in a secondary sense unless we close today below 402.360. But 403.60 precedes it, and this is actually an even more respectable rising channel top at 403.60. So I'll tell you, as this channel top, or channel bottom rather, continues to climb through time and is rising at a faster pace than 403.60, it will remain 403.60 as the kind of the base. Now, 403.60 is in itself a meaningful channel structure, and it actually might contain weekly selling pressures. So let's break down the day and the next 3 to 5 days. If you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, you're selling 440.35 if given the opportunity, and taking profits at 403.60. Now, all of this may happen today. Given heightened volatility, it is certainly possible. And 423.87 is this extreme channel top that actually held selling pressures a little over a week ago. We slipped through it certainly on Friday. It can contain intraday selling pressures above 423.87. 440.35 is in reach today. below 423.87, 403.60 is likely, which is the beginning of a range, at least for today, down to 402.36 that can contain daily selling pressures. And if you want to play the 3 to 5 day swing trade here or the 1 to 2 week swing trade here, I don't have a problem with that because you never obviously know exactly where the market's going to go. And if there's a spot to be picked, if there's a spot to pick to buy into, if there's a spot that you can buy into this week, it really is 403.60, which is backed up by 402.36. Now, closing below 402.36 today or later this week is certainly in the cards, if you will, given what I said at the very beginning, which is to say that this market is susceptible to falling away into the 350s, 360s over the next 3 to 5 weeks. And everything we've seen so far is really kind of confirming that. The test last week of 469.54, also on the daily chart at 461.76, followed shortly thereafter with the settlement Friday below 440.35. This all points to a bearish continuation into the 360s over the next 3 to 5 weeks. On the way down, we've got 402.36 preceded by 403.60. That is, if there's any level inside of this range between the 460s and the 360s, it really is this low 400 area that can contain daily selling pressures, possibly for the week itself. We could round up from here. I don't know where this gap is, by the way, but I could see closing that gap, 402.36 as well. I don't know if it would close it or not, but I could see rounding up from here, into later week, possibly through the rest of the week. So, and I'm not trying to, if you're a 3 to 5 week swing trader and you are short right now, then I'd say hold out for the low 360s. But if you're more of a 3 to 5 day to 1 to 2 week swing trader, you can anticipate 402.36 likely to give the market trouble in terms of containing selling pressures that are well underway. Last thing I'll say about this, if we close below 402.36 today or any day this week, that is your really last shoe to drop, so to speak, on anticipating 362.39 in as little as 3 to 5 days. So what I'm talking about is a 3 to 5 day possibility back into the 360s. We're 2 days into it. And, it could certainly be by the end of next week. So inside of 2 weeks is possible with the present volatility we see right now. This 362.39 level, backed up by a daily channel bottom at 351.12, can absorb selling through the rest of the year. And I'll go back to the opening statement, above which 524.64 remains a 5 to 8 month objective. This allows the market to fall back over the next month into the 360s and then round up again. So 5 to 8 months makes sense unless we close this week above 469.54. And now we're talking with present volatility within 1 to 2 weeks, but I think 3 to 5 week target following a settlement this week above 469.54, 524.64, our 5 to 8 month objective, then likely realized in a matter of 3 to 5 weeks, where we could top out through the first quarter of 26 and fall away. Last thing I'm going to mention is the fact, and I've been mentioning this for a while now, the S&P 500, the S&P 500 index, the SPY itself, and the S&P 500 E-mini futures are all testing a 5.5-year channel top, and they've all eased back. There's no big sell signal yet in play, but we do provide that at wickedstocks.com. Not only do we provide the sell signal and what would define it on the way down that would be significant, but also we give you this exact number, which I think is important to have. So I would invite you to go to wickedstocks.com and sign up for our 5-day free trial, where you'll have this exact location of this 5.5-year channel top. You'll also have it in the S&P 500 index itself. If we were to close above this area in the S&P, longer-term bullish continuation for the broader market that just might boost Tesla up and over 469.54. Until then, the broader market has lots of room to fall away over the next month or two, which does support, wrong word really, but it does support the idea that the 360s remain in reach over the next month or so. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I'm going to leave it at that for Monday's Tesla report. You have a great day.